Now, you're formerly known as Alura Jenson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When did you decide to enter into the porn industry?
Oh, boy.
You're going to learn all about you.
Oh, you guys are in for it today. My journey into making films was a long one. I actually started when I was 18.
I remember, like, when I was 18, all of us went to our first strip club, right? Remember, we used to go to the massage ball. What they call the Jack Shack. Have you ever did a scene and a guy walks in and he's, like, hung like a donkey? Like, hell no, I'm not doing this.
That was my very first professional experience, was something like that.
That's got to be painful, right?
Extremely.
Now you're a born-again Christian.
Absolutely. You guys go to our church, right?
I haven't been in church in years.
Well, you know.
Well, my church is at home. I pray every day. No, you don't. Yeah, I do. Shut up. You think there was some kind of agenda in the porn industry, like satanic?
Yes, absolutely.
Was there any time when they pitch a scene to you?
Yes.
And then you read that pitch, you're like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yes. Yes. The stepmom thing was the beginning of the end for me.
Stepmom?
Yeah.
I like a good stepmother scene.
It turned my stomach. What's wrong with you people?
You look at this one genre, and then that genre gets old, so you keep going, and you keep going down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I was looking at this crazy. Man, I didn't look this crazy stuff. You look at your watch, you're like, wow, I've been looking at porn for 10 hours.
Really?
You're like, yeah. It's like shit.
You got my respect. I can never look at it for 10 hours.
I'm embellishing. You know, time flies by. I like, he's making fun of me, kid. Yeah, we got Elizabeth Spraggins in the house. Did I pronounce your last name right?
Yes.
Spraggins.
Yes.
Spraggins. Okay.
Spraggins. Like Bilbo Baggins, but more awesome.
Okay. Now, you're formerly known as Alura Jenson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was I want to start with your early life.
Sure.
And work through your entire life because now you're a born again Christian, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So tell us about your early life. Where were you born?
Oh, boy.
They're going to learn all about you.
Oh, you guys are in for it today. I was born on the East Coast in South Jersey, and I come from a military family. My father was in the Army, and my mom was a registered nurse.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like that would probably be a strict family.
Yo.
Especially with your father being in the military. Yeah. Your mom's a nurse.
My father wasn't the strict one, actually. It was my mom, bless her heart.
Really?
Yeah, she's actually born again too now. My mom raised us Catholic in the Catholic Church, went to church several times a week, went to Catholic school, did the whole confirmation, the communion. And that's where I learned to grow up and go wild.
Oh, okay. I still have some memories of my mom and dad going to church. Remember that, Keith? And they would be cussing each other out. I'm like, where are we going? We going to church. Why y'all cussing each other out for? All right, don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's good. It's all good. I learned very early on that faith was all about rules and doing the right things. And it had very little to do with about God's grace and about the sacrifice of Christ. I never understood what that meant and what whole Jesus on the cross thing had to do until I was 46 years old. I never learned in my heart what that was about. But all of these learning about God has to do with rules and doing the right things, going to the Catholic, church and Catholic school. That's how I learned. I don't mean to, offend anybody out there, but that was my experience. Meant that if I screwed up, all I had to do was go to confession and say, hey, I'm sorry.
Right.
So I screwed up a lot. A lot.
Really?
A lot. Yes. And
in high school too, or?
High school?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really where it all popped off.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
I was so shy back in school. Me and my brother were so shy. Like, if a girl would just look at us, we would take off running.
Really?
Like, weird shy. We were weird. Because we just stuck to each other. We were weird.
Same. I was a goofy looking kid.
Yeah.
Like goofy looking. Yeah. And honestly, really, you guys were shy?
Yeah, very shy.
Wow. That blows my mind.
I was so shy, it was annoying. I wish I could go back in time, though.
Right.
Yeah, I do so many things different. I mean, I ain't going to bring this. I was going to tell you something about something that happened in the bathroom with a girl. I was so shy, I just ran out.
The stories. The
I think
stories.
I was like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
She was on her knees. I had it out. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I was worried that I didn't smell fresh down there.
Oh my Lord.
That's just a weird freaking. Bet you wish you could do that over.
Woo.
Yeah.
Well, you're a kid. I mean,
Yeah.
you're experimenting. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18.
Really?
Damn near 19. Yeah, me too.
Wow. I was 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I wanted to lose it at 10. But I
Yeah. Wow.
couldn't stick around to do it, you know? I was too scared.
My God. See, that's a more proper influence, I guess. I was kind of running around wild because I was so goofy and I was bullied, horribly bullied.
Oh, us too. We was all the black kids said I was gay. No, they called us Milli Vanilli. Well, they're gay. I don't think they were. Oh, they look gay. They're definitely they're definitely homosexual.
I'm having the weirdest, wildest time, believing that you
Right.
guys were shy.
Yeah, very shy. If I had we're about the same age. If I'd have ran into you, could have got me out of it.
I probably would have, and then
Right.
repented when I was 46.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got some tag team Mac.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up.
Lord have
I'm just
mercy.
joking, man. Yeah. So
Wow. So like when I was younger, books became my friend.
I used to love to read.
Me too.
I used to read Ramona Quimby books.
Yes, Judy Blume.
Yes. Yes.
Loved
That was
her
the
books.
author. Yeah. Who the hell was that?
Judy Blume is an author that wrote books, the wholesome books to help young men and women grow up in
Yeah.
a way that didn't screw them up in
Oh,
adulthood.
that's why I keep turning out better than I did.
Maybe.
I remember that. But so you grew up
And you went to the military? No, let's stay in high school for now. Okay. Let's stay in high school.
Oh yeah, high school.
Well, you want to
Okay.
go into details? Well, not you have to get graphic. I mean, but I want to learn
Family show,
about her
right?
childhood and stuff.
Family show, right?
Yeah, we keep family show.
Yeah, we'll
but
keep
anything,
it
just
PG.
anything you want to share.
Yeah, what was it
Because
like
we
growing
want
up?
to just like show your journey from childhood, your experiences, and how you became a born again Christian. It's never too late to become a born again
You
Christian.
have a very beautiful story.
I do actually. I am so grateful to all of the difficult paths that I have chosen to travel before I knew God's grace. Because those difficulties have exposed me to understanding the very people I feel I'm called to help. So that's I'm grateful for that. But in high school, I was not very welcomed by anybody.
Really? You didn't have any friends or
No,
no?
I
Kinda-
just
Did that cause you to act out with boys? Because when you get attention from boys, it gives you like validation
no.
as a woman? No?
No, that caused me to dive deep into books and science and music and dance and being by myself, because those things, they kept me company. The sound of music and dance and basically celebration, like what I do in the Lord now. But
That's crazy because
Yeah.
you're a beautiful woman. I was like, why you didn't have any friends? You grew up in like a black school or something?
we're getting there.
Oh, it's like New Jersey.
We're getting there.
Just right around a bunch of diversity.
We're getting there. We are. We're getting there.
Okay.
I did switch schools quite a few times.
Yeah.
My moving different places. Gosh, I remember at least 4 high schools, not to mention all the middle schools, elementary schools before that. So I got used to being alone. I got used to not ever having the time to learn to fit in. But I also learned a lot about standing on my own 2 feet and thinking for myself no matter what other people were doing. And believe it or not, when you are an adolescent or getting used to being social in puberty, thinking on your own is not really a good thing, but it was a blessing. So one day I woke up, I was 15 years old. I swear to you it happened just like this. I woke up one day when I was 15 and I don't know, something happened. My hips popped out a few extra inches or, I just had one less pimple that day. But all of a sudden, all those people that were really, really mean to me, they wanted to take me out all of a sudden. And these are the people that used to beat me up, steal my books, throw things at me. And all of a sudden they were being nice to me because of how I looked. And I'm like, nah.
It's a very superficial world.
Yes. But because I had so many years to learn to stand on my own 2 feet and think independently, it didn't impress upon me as much.
Right.
So I moved on again, moved into another school where
military. You're a military brat, so your parents were moving around a lot. Okay,
That must have sucked having to make new friends from school to school like that.
it was a blessing and a curse, but because I didn't have any social skills at the time, when people would start bullying me, it was time to move on, and I was grateful.
okay.
Yeah. I met the father of my daughter when I was 15, who was my very best friend. And bless his heart, I don't want to speak out on him because I didn't know I was going to be talking about him. But he's a good man, 15 years old. And one day, things went sideways, as good friends of opposite sexes tend to experiment with. And bam, there's my daughter.
Right.
There's my daughter.
Right.
And
Remember, don't feel bad because I got a virgin pregnant the first try.
congratulations.
Yeah, it was an accident. I mean, it happens. Sometimes shit happens. Like, wait a minute, you got pregnant the first time you did it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All it takes is one.
Yeah, all the time.
Especially 18, you busted them big loads in them.
Shut up, Keith.
I mean, you young and vibrant. 18 years old, you shooting like a cannon.
Okay, we get it.
Jeez. You're shocked that she got pregnant?
Go forth and multiply, right? Oh my gosh.
You do that. How did you get pregnant?
She tripped and she fell?
Yeah.
It was just like, I thought you had to at least do it like 4 or 5 times.
You stupid.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I was young, dumb, full of cum. I was young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
So,
Listen, back to you.
No, please. I'm just kind of like, what? I should know better by now. I've been watching your show since forever. Right. I'm just,
being a
We're
teen
some
mom,
goofballs.
was that difficult? I'm sure it was. Just wanted to get your perspective on it.
It was a road I was meant to travel. I was advised by my family to not continue the pregnancy, and
Really?
Catholic. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I, as a 16-year-old pregnant, chose to bring my daughter into the world and raise her. By the way, she lives here in Vegas now. Shout out to Kathleen. Hey, girl. Mommy loves you. She just got saved 2 days ago.
Oh. Yeah.
My baby girl. I'm so excited. You guys go to our church, right?
I haven't been in church in years.
Well,
Well, my church is at home. I pray every day.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Shut up.
you guys are a trip. I was so nervous to be here. Oh my goodness. You guys
No,
are
I'm
so
so
much
glad
fun.
you came because you have such a beautiful story. So
Thank you.
don't mind us. We just idiots sometimes.
You guys are so fun, though. You have a way of reaching people in their tension. I know that the world is burning down right now,
Yeah.
and everybody's so tense and so scared. And you got this thing with Verizon happening right now with the outages in the country.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know what that's all about.
We'll get to that. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope we do. Oh my goodness. Oh. So here I am, 16, giving birth at 17. Into my senior year in high school. She was born in September, my last year of high school.
I was born in September.
Yeah.
17th, Virgos.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, just a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hit the big 5-0.
that's so awesome. You guys don't look a day over 35. I came in and you told me 50, and I was just like, Jesus, I got to step up my game.
I still got it.
I look 35. I feel 85.
Don't we all? Oh, my goodness.
Sucks getting up. It's like crazy. I get up, I'm like, why am I like stuck in this position?
Need a few minutes to kind of loosen it all up.
Right. It's crazy. I'm like walking like a scarecrow when I get up. Yeah, everything tightens up.
Oh,
So, you had your first kid at 16,
yes, 17.
17.
Yeah.
So you went to the military.
Yes.
Was that a difficult process having a kid?
Almost impossible.
How did that work out?
Impossible. Well, when I became a single mother at the age of 17, well, I was 16 pregnant, I had to go into foster care.
What happened with your parents? Is it because of the baby? Was that like a strain there?
I was allowed the opportunity to be pregnant without family
Oh, wow.
and bring into the world my my daughter with no place to live and no job and no way to survive after I turned 18. So the foster care system in New Jersey shipped me up to Burlington. And you guys are from North producer.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're from Virginia.
Burlington was where my pregnant foster home was. And then when my daughter was born, they shipped me down to Camden.
You know what's crazy? Someone at your age, you got to be a very strong person to go through with that. For your parents to walk away, you have no support. You could have so very easily went to the abortion clinic and took care of it, but you decided to fight for your child. That's amazing.
The group home that I was sent to before being placed in the pregnant foster home offered me the abortion. And I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, being raised my whole life Catholic, abortion is bad. You don't kill babies. Okay. That at the first opportunity where it's going to affect my life, someone else is telling me to do exactly what they taught me not to do.
Right.
I refused. My daughter was born, and that became a whole other ball of wax of life that I never knew existed. So I went into the military. I had to have my daughter live with friends of the family because my family wouldn't take her.
Wow, what was that?
It was my decision to bring a baby into the world, and it wasn't their burden to bear. Now, mind you, I will not speak ill of my family. I mean, people change, people's mindsets change, people's beliefs change, and that has happened. But at the time, I was told, you did this, now you deal with it. So friends of the family, they took my daughter in, and they actually boarded me before I was supposed to go to boot camp, which was really wonderful for them. But these same people, while I was in boot camp and, after boot camp in training, and I'm sending my whole paycheck to them, and I'm just like this close to getting assigned my first duty station. They told me that they were going to put her in foster care. And I was like, no, you're not. So I went home to go get her. And that was the beginning of a whole other bunch of life experiences that taught me to understand sufferings of people just like I used to do, I used to be.
The father of your daughter, where was he at the time?
He asked me to marry him. And I said no, because he was walking his own path. At the time, he was struggling with addiction. He was, what's the word? I don't want to be unkind because he's a good person.
Right.
And people change.
He had his own problems at the time.
He was swallowed up by being 17 and, living life as a 17-year-old. And as
being 17, that's a disability on its own.
It is, though. It
I
is.
remember us when we were 17.
Yeah, I should.
Oh, God.
And still to this day, my daughter, she's in contact with her father, and I ask her how he's doing, and he's okay these days. He's had other children, and but life is okay for him. So I wish him well. But yeah, he was not in a condition to get married, and I was not going to be married to him.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So what happens is about 9 months later, I got married to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a horrible mistake. It was a horrible mistake because 90 days after, and I'm looking at you. I know you're seeing this right now. Ooh, look at my face. You. He shipped me and my daughter, who was 9 months old at the time, across the country. And 30 days after we got to the first duty station, he left me for a 14-year-old girl, married her when she was 15 with written permission of her mother. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Devastated, of course. What am I supposed to do with a 9-month-old baby? And that's when...
So now you have 2 kids.
It's the same one.
The same. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I said no to marrying the baby daddy, but then I married somebody who was in the military with.
Oh, I see.
And he turned out to be madly in love with a 14-year-old who he then married, with permission of her mother.
Oh, that's crazy.
You have a lot of bad luck with men, I guess.
I was meant to. I was meant to. And that's when I started looking around for ways to make a lot of money very quickly. And that's when my journey into the adult world.
Okay, so you decide to get out of the military?
Because you've been in what, like 10 years?
First time, that's when I got out the first time.
Oh, okay.
And then the second time was years later. That's a whole other ball of wax.
Okay.
Yeah. So you found it hard raising your daughter, and you want to make better money, so that's why you made that career change, or?
I was 18 years old. I had never lived on my own with my daughter without some sort of federal assistance.
Right.
Because as a 17-year-old, you're a ward of the state. And then when I was 18, very shortly afterwards, I was shipped off. So
Military.
I had no idea what am I supposed to do to pay rent? I got to pay an electric bill. Like I never had anybody teach me these things.
Okay.
You must have been very desperate.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified.
You want to be independent.
I wanted to be a good mom. I didn't want my daughter to wind up in foster care because her mother had her too early in life. And I didn't want to be with someone who had a propensity to be in love with underage girls.
Right. Do you know if that worked out or not?
It did not work out,
Yeah,
actually.
I could have told you that.
It did not work out. And the part about it, and I am holding my tongue right this minute because I'm trying to be a better woman these days.
Right.
He and she tried for years to have a baby, and she couldn't get pregnant. Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
So you get out the military and you move to Vegas?
No.
What did you?
Oh, gosh, no. I landed in California for a minute.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, California used to be really wonderful.
Yeah, we lived
I
in
lived there for
California
like
for like
16
15 years. From 94 to 2008.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. It was wild. I love California, but
Yeah.
that place is, we grew up, well, we didn't grow up. We lived in Orange County, California, down. It was really nice down there.
It's a nice area.
Yeah.
I was down in Imperial Beach before the meth thing, kicked in pretty hard. There's a Hilo base on 13th Street, right near San Ysidro. I love living there. It was so pretty. Oh gosh,
Right.
California is nice.
it was. I mean, I make fun of it now because I used to have to travel back and forth for work in the industry. That drive, oh my gosh, that drive. We'll talk off the air about that.
Yeah, that
was a
traffic
mess.
is crazy. The 405. They say never be on the 405 around 405. That traffic was horrible.
Right.
Or on days that end in Y.
Yeah.
Just stay off the road. We come up with those flying cars, everything will be fine.
Yeah, it's always burning. The state's always burning down out there.
Always on fire. And then they're bringing all their infectious mind garbage to Nevada and
Right.
seeding themselves here in Vegas, making Vegas, a lot more like California.
Right.
Oh, go home.
Yeah. Go to New York or something,
Right.
or Illinois.
Or New Jersey.
Just metastasize and spread across the country.
Yes, they are, aren't they? They are. Oh my gosh. It's like everything crappy that happens in the United States happens in the testing grounds of California and New York first.
Yep.
And then they go to other smaller, liberal areas like Chicago or Detroit or even Houston. And they like to see how people are going to react before they go widespread with it.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you're gonna have to try harder because there are a lot of independent thinkers walking around these days who are so wise to this now. They're not falling for it anymore.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So when did you when did you decide to enter into the porn industry? What was that process like?
Oh, should we call it the adult film industry?
I
Do you prefer one or the other?
my journey into making films
Okay, films.
was a long one. I actually started when I was 18 and I had just gotten divorced from my first husband. See, I hope he sees this.
Oh, he's watching this right now.
I hope he is too, because you'll never be as good as anybody that God brought to me after you. I'm joking. Oh my goodness, Lord forgive me. I started dancing. But not full time in the United States. I started going across the border to Tijuana where there are fewer rules and fewer regulations. See, for those of you out there who aren't in the industry or who know about it, dancing, grown-up dancing, okay. I don't know who's watching your show. I want to make this like Facebook, okie dokie.
That's all good.
But there are certain rules that women who dance in the United States have to follow, and they don't have those rules in Tijuana.
What were those rules?
A lot of them are a woman has to have one foot on the ground all the time. She has to be a certain number of inches away from the person being entertained. Certain attire has to be a part of the experience.
So like California. Huh?
See, I'm with you. I believe in freedom.
Freedom.
That's California, right?
I believe in First Amendment. That don't sound like freedom to me.
You gotta be a certain.
And then when you went to Tijuana, everybody there is at the strip clubs is American, Marines,
Military.
Navy.
Military.
Yes. And you know that when they're going into Tijuana on the weekends, they're bringing all their money there. So I'm
All the
thinking,
money. I left Tijuana broke many times.
Right. And I was one of those girls that loved that you did. Yeah. I love that you did. Oh, I had a blast. But that was my first experience. And it was fantastic. It was really seductive. The money, it was so easy to make.
How much was it? How much were you making a week?
It was,
Let's say a weekend.
A night. Yeah.
oh God, back then, what I made back then is different than what I used to.
Right. Inflation. Yeah.
Inflation, right? But it was definitely enough to take care of a baby and an apartment and, food and stuff like that.
Like if you could compare it today, yesterday, then and now, how much you would say, if you could quantify how much money were you making in today's dollars?
Oh my Lord. Well, I got better at it. I got really, really good at getting money out of people.
Oh yeah.
I did, and it's not something I'm necessarily proud of.
Yeah, take it all.
Right, and that was the end result expected and commanded from people was to drain them and then make them bleed a little bit of what they didn't have into my hands, and that is a mindset.
Rent money.
So you like a casino?
I was.
Yeah.
I was, and I was exceptional at it, especially coming to Vegas, and I fit right in. I fit right into Las Vegas. Everybody will kiss your rear end for $1 here. Literally $1. I mean, yeah. Oh my goodness. So maybe back then, I suppose $500 back in the 90s was a good day. Especially when my rent was only $400.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
At the time, for a little apartment.
So now rent today in California, I was driving my wife and I was like, man, it's like $25,000, $3,000, $4,000 for
Easily.
a 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
So in today's terms, you was making like $4,000 a night.
Yeah, I wound up making that here in Vegas though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And I don't want to out anybody because I'm not about that. But when I started working as a dancer in Vegas, I started adopting really bad habits.
What was those habits?
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
I plead the fifth, but I observed those habits to make a large amount of money. And
Get extra tips with them bad habits.
lots mortgage payments with those bad habits. Yeah.
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 It sounds like dudes is busting nuts at this point.
Will you shut up?
That's what it's. I'm giving up my mortgage payment. Busting nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes to territory.
Right.
Guys are like sexually stimulated. I remember like when I was 18, I was in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. All of us went to our first strip club, right?
Yeah.
And just, I remember I was sitting there looking and girls up there dancing, stripping. I'm looking at all the guys and they're just like,
Yeah.
Right.
dudes are just grabbing the, I mean, it's like, guys are like.
Man, we used to go to the massage parlors.
Yeah.
As soon as you get paid, hey, Hodge, I'm going down to the, what they call
the Jack Shacks.
hey, man, no, man, I need my money, man. I need to send it back home to my mama. This dude, as soon as he got paid, he would go. And I went one time with him. And I was 18 years old from a small country town. I'm like a country hick.
I can see
I'm
that.
in the city, right? And this big, tall black guy, his name was, well, I'm going to just say his name was Keith, right? And he's about 6'7", right?
Yeah.
So he's real cool dude, right? And he always made me laugh, right? And I was still shy back in those days. So we go into this Jack Shack, right? And they have this menu.
Jack Shack.
Yeah, they have this menu. It says vanilla surprise, chocolate supreme. And he walks in there and says, give me some of the vanilla and I want some of that chocolate, right?
Okay.
I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable, right?
Did you know what it was about?
Yeah, I knew what was going on, but I'd never been to a place like this before.
Yeah.
So I get a girl. He gets 2 girls.
Damn.
He goes into a room right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear him talking. I hear him undo his pants and his belt buckle. And the girl's like, oh my God.
I know you talking about. I remember I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And he took that dude was hung like a horse.
I've seen those.
Yeah, it was great. He just pulled out and he's like this is the urinal. He's like, I'm like, dude, what the hell do you do with that?
Wow.
You ought to hear the 2 girls' reaction. It's like, oh my God.
Need all 4 hands to make that work, right?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
So I just wanted to share that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
Wow.
Great story, Kim.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, like you were saying, I'm sorry. We cut you
I
off.
think I worked with him in my previous life.
Yeah.
I got to ask you this. Does size matter?
No.
It don't.
No, it
Don't
doesn't.
tell Keith that.
Well, I'm just going to put this out there as somebody who's seen the entire spectrum of male anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm walking in God's grace, I can say that I have seen the entire spectrum of anatomy. And if a woman knows what she's doing with her own needs and her own anatomy, she can make any size work.
Oh, okay.
And it's about the man and his attitude, making it enjoyable for the woman.
It's the motion in the ocean.
Yeah, people make fun and they make jokes about that, but it's absolutely true for me.
I mean, is there a size that makes everything easier?
One that doesn't bust a woman's back out, but one that's enough to feel. Yeah.
Right.
Somewhere in the middle is awesome.
You just don't pull out a chode.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. No, that's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable.
Chode.
Is that what that is? Is that what a chode is?
I ain't gonna even get into it.
I don't know what a chode is.
All right, so is that how you made that transition from dancing to adult films?
Over time.
Yeah.
Over time, because I
How long did it take you from dancing to go into adult films?
I was.
That's just like a gateway into that, right? Stripping.
It was for me.
Yeah.
It was.
Especially when you develop bad habits. I can go over and do this legal. Shut up.
That's exactly,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
exactly what I said. When I was discovered in the club where I was working here in Vegas, that was my first thing. I can do this legally and get paid and not go to jail. Awesome. Let's do that instead. So I
That's
continued.
funny how that works.
Right.
You do a movie, it's legal, but if you do it on the street or in your own home, that's illegal. Does that make sense?
Except in Pahrump.
Yeah, it's just
In Pahrump, yeah.
Right.
yes. I don't know. I'm conservative politically,
Sure.
but a lot of things when I look at, I'm kind of liberal. Like I think a man and a woman should be able to do that, even if it's prostitution. It's between consenting adults. Even though I'm a Christian,
Yeah.
I just think the government shouldn't be involved in that. They should regulate it, and like you have to
Right.
get tested and make sure you're not the
Yeah.
outbreak monkey spreading diseases.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should be.
Yeah, I think a lot of our judicial system, I think, is made, for the most part, to incarcerate people. Like marijuana. So like some of these things is just stupid. Why are we throwing people in jail for this?
Right.
You know?
But you
It
know
doesn't
what?
make sense.
Why they incarcerate people for minor offenses is because when they're not doing these outrageous minor offenses, they're big thinkers.
Right.
And big thinkers are independent of a system that was developed to control them
Right.
from thinking independently and spreading that independent thinking to other people like them. Oh my goodness. So bad habits.
Right.
Vegas went from dancing to making films. Oh, I had a blast. Oh my gosh.
Do you know? Let me ask you this.
Did
Like,
you know me and Keith went to a porn audition?
Really?
man, why would she know that?
I might.
Me
I might know it.
and Keith actually went to a porn audition.
Really?
Keith calls me up.
Was
Back
this
in those
here?
times.
No, this is my story.
We'll tell it.
We went there because I did this. All right, we was living in Orange County, California, and there was an ad in the paper. I was looking for a job, and there was an adult section in the classifieds
Oh,
in
no.
Orange County Register, and it says adult film work. Call the number and set up an interview.
So me
Right?
and Keith
And
went
I took
together.
him with me.
Yeah.
Right? So we go to this place,
Yeah.
and there was a couple hot chicks at the door, and we had to take pictures and stuff, right? And they gave us some applications. So I'm like filling out a job application, right?
Yeah.
And then this dude comes in, goes and the hot Asian chick takes him in the room.
Oh my gosh.
Right, so I'm in there filling out my application, and then I hear this dude going, oh. And I was like, we're like listening as we fill this out. I'm like, did that dude just bust his nuts?
They need to see what
Right.
your ability is,
Right.
and
Yeah.
your command of yourself. Yes.
Right.
they
So the
need to
dude
see
comes out, we just stop and we just look at him.
that.
This dude is beat red in the face. There's a big fat white dude.
Oh, that's gross. Oh, gross.
Because it was funny. It was quiet. We just filling out an application, looking at each other like, should we do this? And then all of a sudden we go, I'm like, you remember that? We was like, I think that dude just busted it.
Yeah. So when it came time for me and Keith perform, I couldn't do it. I was too shy.
We left. We
Yeah.
left
So we
because
took some pictures with our shirt off.
no, but we left. We was like, man, what if Mama sees this? My mama was still alive, and my mama didn't watch porn, but my cousins do.
Right.
So I know they would show it to Mama, so we left. I needed the money too.
Yeah.
We was broke. We was damn near homeless.
We got calls for
Really?
like 6 months after that. We had
Really?
pagers, and they was calling us every day. Got work for you. Got work for you.
Wow. You guys didn't think about like getting into modeling because you're good looking, good looking men. What?
Yeah.
I think all those people are gay.
No, I needed something quick.
Oh.
I needed
Okay.
some.
I wanted to release and make some quick, easy cash.
I understand. I understand.
Anyway, but just wanted to share that with you.
I appreciate that. I'm going to
Yeah.
take that home and ponder on that.
I'll never forget that day. It was so fun. That dude was in there. I was like,
so bizarre.
yeah. Got our new giveaway. You asked for it, we got it. Man, this is a 69 Chevy Camaro. We give away American muscle here. This is actually a race car, standard, 6-speed, Yanko version. Did you tell him it had a 540 big block in it? It's got over 700 horsepower in now. Did you hear that? This car got over 700 horses. That's crazy. How did they get 700 horses up under the hood? That's that white American engineering right there. That's what founded this country. Go to officialhodgetwins.com. Anything you buy from the site, get you automatic. Enter to win. Yeah.
Woo.
So we've traveled some of the same roads, but
We was up in Sherman Oaks.
yeah.
I've been there many times.
Yeah, we was up in Sherman Oaks looking for work. I felt like an illegal immigrant up there in front of Home Depot looking for work.
Well, if you were an illegal there now, you'd be getting a credit card, a phone, a place to live,
Yeah.
housing, maybe even a new car. You never
Money to
know.
buy a house.
Money to buy a house.
A video on TikTok.
Oh,
They showed immigrants buying their new house that was, provided to them from
yes.
the government. Newsom.
Yes.
Which is crazy. No, it's from an immigrant that came here. They actually supplied them a home, the money, the down payment, and everything.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Why do you think they're doing that?
It's to import potential that will be forced to oblige. When, I said this many years ago. I don't know if you guys followed. I don't know if you guys, oh, hi. I don't know if you guys followed my X page. Shout out to Elon Musk for saving the world, right?
Yeah.
But I said this years ago when I first started waking up and I started noticing things, I would speak on it. And the whole border crossing thing, I'm like, those are all military aged men. Those are all fighting aged men. You see very few women and children coming with them.
Right.
Why would they need to do that? And then I'm seeing the whispers and the chatter about the UN being staged, with weaponry being staged, and with plans to import millions of people at the time. They're like, no, come on. Millions of these people coming through the border, a few thousand, maybe they'll shut it down, right? No, they certainly did not. Why would they need to do that? Because the people were waking up to their lies And the people that they were going to be financing would need to continue supporting them in order to continue getting that financing. So they're importing voters.
Right.
It wasn't a big leap for me, but it blows my mind, you guys. It blows my mind that there are so many people out there that still refuse to believe this.
I know.
And we call them Democrats.
Yes.
You know what's funny? Like black people, like we're black, right? We used to be the number 2 demographic in this country. Back when the whole civil rights era was going and Martin Luther King and all that was going on, it was blacks were number 2 in the country.
Yeah.
Black people don't even realize it, that they've been overtaken now. That's why they let all the Latinos in. They're the number 2 demographic in this country now.
Right.
It's not black people.
Well, they are about to become next place to all of the people coming in from the Arab countries and from China and from our not friends from over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
What do you
all-
think their major goal is?
To make it impossible for us to fight back when they do what they mean to do very soon.
Right.
They're going to have their own fighting force and their own hired fighting force who they're supporting with our tax dollars. So when we stand up and say, no, we're not going to stand for this, they're going to have millions of people all around all 50 states who are going to be called to do what they were hired, imported to do, which is to make us sit down and take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to go very well.
Yeah. Nope. They're going to make them. They're trying to make them all citizens, voters, everything.
Can you guys explain that to me? Because isn't it illegal for people who are not citizens to vote?
That's what I thought. But they giving them IDs. They letting people vote without an ID. I see that what their goal is. Like when they sent all those immigrants from Haiti to Ohio, they're displacing all those people that live there.
Yes.
They drove up the rent, cars, everything's very expensive. Now the citizens of the country can't even afford it. And now these people are going to be able to vote.
They're going to be able to vote.
They're going to, and it's replace that Republican vote.
Yeah, that's why they put them there.
How is this not treason?
Yeah, it's illegal. I understand them sending it to like a sanctuary city, like New York,
The states
California.
that want it.
But why are you sending these people to red areas?
But they don't stand for this.
Because they're a threat.
Yeah.
They are the deciding factor between them succeeding and, them losing their job and their pay pig, after the election, which is all this is about is money.
Right.
And it's disgusting to me that they are willing to destroy such a beautiful thing. Yeah, we're a mess, but it's our mess. It's not their mess. It's our mess. And it's our voices that decide what kind of a mess we're going to have. And they're giving that voice away to people that don't live here. They don't sacrifice and raise families and toil and contribute to the society, which they're going to come in and just, I don't even know what.
The biggest thing I hate about it too is when they come here, I'm just here to make money.
Right.
I was like, no, you're supposed to come here. The first thing that come out of your mouth is, I want to be an American.
Right.
Nope, I'm here to make money. I'm going to take all my money. I'm going to send it back home to my people.
Do it
And then they
online.
wave their flags all over the place. I was like,
they incentivize the leeches of the world to come here.
They emptied their prisons. I have read so many stories about
Venezuela.
Venezuela emptying their prisons, taking the worst people that they have that have infected and destroyed their country, and they're getting rid of them to rebuild under their new government over there.
Right.
And I'm like, why? What have we done? We've got enough, pieces of garbage running around making it difficult for us to live how we want to live. Why do we need to take theirs too?
Yeah.
Right.
And then give them the money that we are not sending to Ukraine, or that we're not sending to people that we didn't give permission for our money to be given to. I mean, but now we're giving it to them too. And these are the people that are ripping things up and burning things down. No, go home.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they look like they're just treating us like with cattle.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's kind of like back in the medieval times when you'd have kings and they would have tax collectors sitting on the corners, pay your tax. But then what do they do with that? Hey, what is this green stuff?
Oh, that's our sponsor.
Hey,
Shake it up before you drink it.
Optimal Human.
Optimal Human.
It's
It's got all kinds of vitamins and minerals and vegetables and fruits, and
Really?
even got stuff for your, I ain't going to say it.
Trust me, there's no cats and dogs in that drink.
Let somebody try to come up in my house and take my dog.
Yeah.
No, we are a 2A household.
Better have a gun because they got machetes.
I got more than that. I got a husband from Texas.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, that's all I need to know. You ain't playing no games.
Hey, have you always been, it sounds like to me that you lean conservative. Have you always been that way, or
No, and that's something I really want to impress upon people, and I'm so grateful to you guys for inviting me here. I've voted Democrat my whole life.
Us too. Same here.
Right.
Yeah. Last time I voted for a Democrat was Obama.
Right. Same. I voted for him twice because I thought I didn't know any better. I thought, okay, cool, this is change, right? Because racism had been a topic of discussion my whole life. I mean, my first child is mixed. And
I was going to ask you that.
yeah.
I was going to ask what popped in my mind.
I know
when
that
you
black
said
guy
they-
saw you. Yeah, I got me a white girl. Shut up. I'm telling you, black guys.
See, now I
No,
wanted
black
to,
guys see white women as like trophies.
Trophies,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I made it. I got a white one. But when you brought that up about your parents turning your back on you and your child, I wanted to ask you, but I didn't want to dig too
Sure.
deep. And I was like, I wonder if the child was black because it makes sense you in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Was you? Do you think that was the reason why they didn't want you to have the child?
I believe that because so much earlier in my exposure to the world, I had gotten so into books that my potential to achieve was so amplified in their eyes that having a baby at 16, pregnant 16, 17, becoming a mom, that changed all that. I think that might have had more to do with it.
Probably didn't help.
I'm not going to say it didn't, although I would never disrespect my family like that.
It's just the way things were different. I remember when I was because we grew up in Virginia and born in '74, and I remember in the middle '80s we had white friends because we lived in a poor white neighborhood, and I remember my friend Scott would he would play with us. Or was it Scott? I think it was another kid.
It was another kid.
It was another kid. It wasn't Scott. He was one of my white friends, but his name was Randy.
Randy.
His name was Randy, right? And then, we was playing, and then his daddy called him up the hill, and I was like, and he went up to his dad, and it looked like they was arguing. I was just a little kid. I'm just wanting Randy to come back so we can play kickball some more, right? So Randy come down the hill. I said, "What was that all about?" My dad said he doesn't want me playing with niggers.
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah. See y'all later. I gotta go. He said that.
Wow.
I remember going to my friend's house. His name was GB, and he had a fence. There was some grapes on the fence.
Yeah.
It was like me and GB. We just eating the grapes, right? And I was like, man, these damn grapes are good, GB.
So good.
Yeah. And this white dude say, "Stop eating my grapes, you fucking nigga."
I haven't heard that word in so long.
Yeah, I heard it. Man, I heard
Really?
that.
I heard it a lot
Very
growing up.
I'm from Virginia, I'm south of Virginia,
Southern Virginia.
So, yeah, I got called the N-word a lot.
Wow.
I think the world's progressed a lot. I've been called a green-eyed spear trucker.
What does that mean?
I guess
I
we
don't
was
know
hanging
what
out with GB again. He was outside
GB.
drinking. We was hanging with GB and there was
Should have knew it was coming. They had a rebel flag up.
they was drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, and they said we was funny-looking Negroes because we had green eyes.
Really?
Yeah, so they called us a green-eyed spear chucker.
That blows my mind.
It does me. I fucking live that shit.
I don't understand.
Southern Virginia was like that, but I think times have changed, and I think that's probably
Changed a lot.
what you experienced, maybe with your family and
Yeah,
Maybe.
the kid.
I
because that wasn't too common to be biracial families.
It's like a
Right.
stigma.
Yeah,
it was definitely something I saw. But for me it was just me and my daughter.
right.
And my baby, she grew up so pretty. I'm a grandma now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
I have two. She has two of my grandbabies. She's been married to a wonderful man. Shout out to Jordan. Hey, Jordan, thanks for being good to my daughter.
Yeah.
Let it go, Jordan.
Yeah. And they live here in Vegas. And
Oh, okay.
oh, such a happy story. And despite the fact that their mother was a dirtbag for so many years, they all turned out okay.
Why you think he was a dirtbag?
I was.
Yeah.
I was, yes. And that's part of the story of becoming saved is acknowledging God's grace and how far out of the darkness his forgiveness and grace can pull someone. As there are people, how many? Countless people around the world, let alone in Las Vegas, who are living that life, who think that they're too far gone, The things they've done are just unforgivable.
Yeah.
They-
Can you give us an example of something dirtbag that you did?
I would be very careful about what I say because I know that you are across multiple platforms.
Oh yeah, it's easy to offend a conservative.
Right.
Who
Yeah,
gives
they're-
a shit? I don't care.
Right.
Not give a shit. This is just us having an adult conversation. If
Yeah.
you can't handle
you-
an adult conversation, you don't need to be.
Yeah,
I mean, the Bible is filled with violence.
It is though.
He drowned a bunch of people because they
Right,
wouldn't listen. I mean,
right.
relax.
Right. And then you got that girl Rahab.
Yeah.
Rahab. See,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
hear about I identify as this and that. I'm like, no. I'm the lady by the well. I'm the lady with the scarlet ribbon. I'm all of that.
Right.
And he, they still made it. But some of the things that I held on to for a really long time. Of course, the personal entertainment for money, that was the scandalous entertainment for money. That was something that I thought was unforgivable because in my head, when a man and a woman are together like that, they become married.
Right.
So my whole lifetime, I can't count to you how many husbands I should have by now.
Right.
And I thought that was just all kinds of adultery and unforgivable. But then when I started to do it for money, that to me became even more unforgivable.
Right.
And then I figured, to heck with it. If I'm this deep into sin, I might as well have a fun ride with it. Yeah. And I did. And then I started to do things like take advantage of people.
You could do a lot to a guy when he's horny as
can.
hell. You can totally take. You can manipulate the hell out of him.
And even more when they're intoxicated or high.
Yeah.
And I was really efficient at having men part with their money when they were not in the right frame of mind to make that decision. And
Well, they put themselves in that position.
they did.
I mean, they were having fun, believe it or not,
They did.
just to be in your presence. I mean, they pay. They actually paying for your companionship too.
And my sparkling personality more than stole the show. I can tell you that. But it all, believe you me, ladies and gentlemen out there who are like, you are an evil woman, it all bit me right in the ass. It did. All of this sin and all these things that I chose to do to all these men to make this money and to have a good time because I thought it was unforgivable, it all bit me right in the butt. Yes. I mean, I'm now on a different walk, and that is only because of God's grace. But it did come back and bite me because now I can't move forward in life in a way that I'm trying to live to glorify God without constantly
Coming
being
back.
battered by what I used to do. And that's something I'll always have
Who's
to face.
doing that battering? Conservatives?
Everyone.
Everyone does it. Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, definitely conservatives.
Yeah.
But conservatives, definitely. But everybody's stigmatized and demonizes what she's
yeah.
bound to work.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since I retired. 2 years, and they still refuse to accept the fact that I no longer exchange companionship for money or film work for money. And even as far as to not call me by my name, which is Elizabeth. A lot of people don't know my name's Elizabeth. They still think it's Alura. It's not. It's Elizabeth. My mama gave me that name. I'm named after my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
And bless her heart, may she rest in peace.
Yeah.
But-
It was a lot of fun though, huh?
What, the former life I used to live?
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a blast. And in fact, I never would have left had current events not unfolded. Because what had happened with the current events was the doorway that I needed to see in order to be curious what was on the other side. Because I'm living all this life, and at the time I'm drinking heavily, not dysfunctionally, but heavily on my free time. And I think I'm having a blast in life. I'm going to work, making a movie, coming home, having an appointment, right? Or 2 or 3 or whenever, how many.
I get it. The appointment. I get it.
Right, appointments, making all kinds of money, taking care of my household and other households in need at the time, thinking I'm doing good work because I'm giving back, right? And then I see this commercial in TV. I'm going to say maybe 2019, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's when this party started for me. But I didn't actually open that door until the day after the election. And I I was instantly hit with a hand in my chest that said, something's not right. We know that that's not right. Something really, really bad happened between the time I went to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning and the time I woke up to see the celebration that didn't happen, right? Something happened. And that's when my brain was like, well, what else isn't right? So I had not yet decided to walk a different path, but I started paying more attention. And then COVID hit. And I'm like, oh no, I'm done.
You speaking the election?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. What a nightmare that was.
Yeah. I went to sleep. I said, wow, Trump's got this.
Right.
Yeah.
So did I.
It was a done deal.
I voted for the guy. I did. No matter how unpopular that might be in entertainment circles, I don't care. I'm not one of you anymore. Kiss my butt.
Yeah, in that line of work, everybody's like pretty much Democrats. So.
They need to pretend to be, because the people who are paying for the productions and signing the paychecks, they are. But the people that they contract, the people that work for them, believe me when I tell you guys, there are so many silent conservatives or libertarians in the entertainment industry that are terrified to say anything because they'll lose work.
Right.
Yeah, that term conservative, when people when conservatives talk about conservatives, you think of evangelicals, right? But conservative, I think they that's not what a true conservative is. I mean, yeah, there's a section of conservatives who are evangelicals.
That's a Christian conservative.
They're Christian conservatives, but conservative is nothing more than being somebody who sees the Constitution as their religion, their Bible.
Right.
That's what I see a conservative.
Really?
You have Christian conservatives, but then you have conservatives who want to stand by what the founding fathers want, the Constitution.
I stand by.
I think if you're gay, you're transgender, everybody can be a conservative.
Not a Christian conservative.
Not a Christian conservative, but they could be conservative, because when I think of conservatism, all it is common sense. I mean, I know I'm going to piss off a lot of Christians by saying that.
Do it.
But I'm saying, if you want to really save our country, everybody has to be welcome into the conservative movement. And so far, Republicans and conservatives are very good at marketing.
They are good at marketing, but they're also
very bad at marketing. They don't try to influence everybody, because conservatives, gays can help save your country too, just like blacks can, just like the white evangelical Christian can. All of us can help save this country, just like they only try to influence one demographic of people. And right now, that's okay, because the majority of the population of America is white. But over time, this country is lesser white. That's not going to jive. Just kicking the can down the road.
We can kick the can down the road while we juggle with the other hand. I can tell you that they're going after certain groups of people because they're the biggest threat. I believe that in my heart. And as far as conservatives go, and the people that are still left to be welcomed, if the United States and conservatives or Christian conservatives really want to powerhouse this effort that we are about to need to have, start reaching out to people like me who are previously unwelcome because of things that we may have done. And they...
I think you have a beautiful story. They should welcome you with open arms, because look, you're a born-again Christian. But a lot of conservatives don't look at it that way. And those type of conservatives make me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, they think they judge, jury, and executioner.
They can think that, because it's their opinion doesn't matter to how...
Why do you think, I've noticed this about Christians. I'm Christian. Why do you think so many Christians use the Bible to, instead of bringing us together, they use it to divide us?
Because they don't understand what being saved really means. When you understand, and this took me until I was 46 years old to actually have it click in my head what this meant. It is not up to someone to batter and berate and bully someone into following the rules. It is up to us to lead people to finding that relationship. And it's not about a set of ceremonies. It's about Christ died so that when our bodies die, our souls will then be free to go to heaven. He died so that we can have a relationship with God right now. That's amazing. And this Holy Spirit, I want to talk all about him, because he's always in my face. He's a trip too.
Yeah.
It's a trip. They don't understand the people that, and I've heard it called legalism, and I'm still newer, so I don't know all the technical lingo, but people that come at you with specific scriptures and rules, not simply to encourage a lost person, but just to batter them to look important or to feel important at someone's expense, they don't really get it because it's an act of love to help someone find the right path, not, we're supposed to treat people how Christ would treat us, right?
Yeah. Right.
And the legalism thing, that scares me.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do that to somebody.
Right. They always like, you're bad, bad, bad. They never look at the good.
Right. But what condition would we be in if Christ treated us like that?
Yeah.
Right. We'd be a mess.
Be in a lot of trouble.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you mentioned about the people who writes the checks in the porn industry. Is it true or not? Is the executives in porn, is a lot of them just happen to be Jewish? Or is that something I just heard incorrectly?
I'm trying to think. I was in film work for about 11 and a half years. I don't recall one that was.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe they were private about their faith because an adult film set is not somewhere people talk about God.
Right, right. Like, how about, well, I'm not too familiar with the entertainment industry, but a lot of people's always said or shared the belief that a majority of people in Hollywood or everything is owned by Jewish people.
But I don't, what is that? I mean, I understand that there's a need to filter out the cancer that is causing problems, but when we begin segregating a specific group of people, we are including in that specific group of people those who don't agree with them. So I think it's really important to be careful about just saying, not you guys, but people out there, I'm seeing this, and I'm like, that's not right either. Because if we as people who have a faith, or we have people who believe America should be a certain way, and they're all grouping us into this one thing, like we all want the open borders, or we all want our tax dollars to go to Ukraine. No, we do not.
Right.
Then how is that fair to those people of the Jewish faith who don't agree?
Right, right.
But
Generalizing.
I don't think that the entertainment industry in Hollywood is very much different than the adult entertainment industry. There are people out there who are quiet because they have to be. And I've seen, you guys, I have seen so many Hollywood, members come forward and just be like, you know what, if this is what it's going to be, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want anything to do with this. You guys are evil, and, go on and be about yourself, because I'm going to go over here while you guys are rotting in hell.
Right.
Right on, too.
Right. Yeah, they're supposed to be tolerable, but they're
supposed to be like, they're not.
They're not. They're not tolerable. And I think they specifically target the people who feel like their lives don't mean anything unless they're on the rah, rah, rah train. See, when you are confident in your place and in what you believe, and you know that your beliefs are right and just, you don't need to go out and find something to fight for that is not your fight.
Right.
And of course, if it's like, so much as blowing up a child's hospital, you're going to have something to say about it. But burning down a neighborhood because somebody on the other side of the country said something or did something, and I'm kind of like, what?
Doesn't make any sense, huh?
That doesn't make any sense.
Nah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No. Call them Democrats.
Yeah. They're talking about these white liberal women, right? And I don't know what.
They're like the worst, right?
No, the worst is the black liberal women.
I have seen more black liberal women turning a page. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah, I have a black friend that just turned their page. He's voting for Trump. And he was the biggest.
He was a Kaepernick fan.
He's a Kaepernick fan. He's probably still a Kaepernick fan, but...
So he doesn't really know football then.
But he's voting for Trump.
Yeah.
So people are changing.
People are, and even my daughter, the one I told you who was baptized 2 days ago. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she and I didn't speak for a couple of years because our beliefs were so drastically different.
Oh, political?
Yes. And I believe in the bottom of my heart that that's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
That people, after so many years, now everyone's suffering. They're suffering, and this fantasy that life was going to be a certain way if they decided they would behave according to the people causing trouble. No, it's not true. Everybody's life is going to suck, and it does now. People are coming around. They're making some changes, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting.
Yeah. Do you think there was like a how should I put it? You think there was some kind of agenda in the porn industry, like satanic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think Candace Owens talked about that. That it was like there's an agenda in the porn industry that was satanic.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've struggled with porn addiction since. You know what? I joke about sex a lot, and
Sure.
I think the reason both of us do that is because we was exposed to pornography when we was like 9, 10,
Yeah,
maybe even
8,
younger.
8, 9
we
years
found
old.
these dirty magazines,
Right.
and it was just it just set me on a different path. It took the stigma away from sex and all of that. All those pictures I saw, it's like
Right.
this is crazy. I want some of this, And
Yeah.
and ever since then,
And you grew up in the 80s. So,
That was back when magazines were sort of fancy and the pictures were
oh
glamorous.
man, it was amazing.
Now it's just a snapshot taken from a video reel.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I've been in a couple magazines. I'm just making jokes. The one thing, if a man or a woman, if they're solid in their beliefs, almost every person can be reached through their arousal because it's a biological function.
Right.
I believe that if you stimulate someone intimately, it derails everything else that they hold firm in. And in
Burns
that
your
moment,
judgment.
yes, and they depend on that, which is why I believe pornography is so easy to be distributed now, because they need the people like you and the people, like who I feel I am now. They need you to be derailed in moments of stress and tension so you don't stay laser focused on the man behind the curtain and what he's up to.
Yeah.
that was a beautiful statement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have more.
Yeah. I think we come from the mindset that sexuality it can be taught. Like
Yes.
some people are born straight or gay. I firmly believe that.
Yes.
But the majority of us,
Right.
your sexuality is dependent on what you was exposed to while you were growing up. Like I have a firm belief that if me and Kevin was adopted,
Right.
or my dad went gay and left my mom and he had a gay lover and we lived with him and we grew up under his household, we would be gay.
Maybe. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah.
I agree with you, though. I believe that a person's adult sexuality is the result of their introduction into being physically aroused.
Yeah.
I think a person's first physical arousal sets the path for how they believe sex should happen as an adult.
Yeah, just
Right.
like pedophilia. The kids that go through that, when they grow up, they end up doing it to kids
Yeah.
themselves.
Or they kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came across several TikTok videos, and
I think they kill themselves because that's been built into their brain and now they're craving it.
Right.
I think that's why they end up doing that.
right. But
Yeah.
I've noticed these two gay men. I mean, they're like, I have nothing against gay people, right? But I see a lot of gay men. I see a lot of transgender women, transgender men. I'm seeing they're adopting these kids. And when I look at the videos, they're like showing these kids they adopted like they're trophies.
Right.
Like it validates them and their lifestyle.
Part of the costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They make the kids part of their costume. Yep.
right.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why a gay man or two gay men or two gay women would want to have a child and raise them as a family. And when I look at the videos of these people showing these children, it's almost like they're parading them to show you that I'm normal, that I'm,
Yeah.
So what
I
does that
don't-
tell you?
yeah,
What does that tell you when they feel the need to have a child to feel normal?
right.
That without that child, they feel what?
Feel empty.
Right. Why is that?
Yeah, because they are empty.
Right.
And
You're going to ruffle a lot of feathers today.
I really like, if you want to, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman. But if the state wants to marry 2 men, 2 women, so be it. I believe in separation of church and state, but I do not really.
I shouldn't call it a marriage. It should be called a civil union.
Yeah, I strongly believe that gay parents should not raise children. They should not be able to adopt children. You can have your own children if you want to go out and do it the right way, but you shouldn't be able to adopt children. You know, I'm a sole believer that I hate when I come across these videos, these people are taking other people's children
and then indoctrinating them with this nonsense.
Yeah, and they tell them that they're a boy when they're a girl at the age of 3, and they're doing it's just sick. I actually saw a transgender man on TikTok trying to breastfeed his child.
That made me sick. I saw that.
Yeah. And nothing happens to these people.
Yeah.
Lord, come back tomorrow.
I remember back in the day, for you to adopt a kid, you had to have a stable household, a mother and a father. Both had to have incomes. You couldn't be living in poverty. Now it seems like you just give these kids to anybody. There's no requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. I would like to speak on that.
Yeah. There's no easy way to talk about it either.
There isn't, but that's what you guys are all about, though. You guys are all about touching on the difficult topics.
Yeah, I do not like that at all.
I think they can have kids if they go about getting like
but adopting kids, is a big no for me
personally.
I know gay couples that are wonderful to their children, but the majority that I see on the internet, the published stories and photos and videos are of people who sexualize their children in one way or another.
Right.
By exposing them too early to sexuality. And children, like it says in the Bible, it says we become of age of awareness, right? There's such a thing as coming of age of awareness. When a child is ready to start making that decision to become aware, then it's their place to begin making these decisions about how they feel about sex or sexuality. But someone forcing that upon them before they are of age to be aware to make that decision is wrong. It is dead wrong.
Right.
And it's all I'm seeing is these celebrities, they're parading their children around as accessories, as fashion accessories. Like they're being good minions and transforming their children, you know, with excuses and all sorts of stories. And the child isn't even old enough to tie its shoes yet.
Right.
You mean to tell me that your 3-year-old has decided it wants to be?
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
oh my God.
My son came in and told me at 3 he was a girl. It's like,
yeah, that's just weird. It's like when you become an adult, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But I was like, they pushing this on kids. It's
Children. And that has very much to do with why I retired. That has almost everything to do with why I got out. Why I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to make a huge change in my life. I need to figure out how to do that. But for right now, I'm done.
That's got to be tough because I'm assuming you were making a lot of money.
Huge.
And then just to cut that off overnight, that's a huge decision.
It was. But I heard a voice so profound and it was so undeniable that I didn't hesitate for a second to say, okay. I said it out loud, okay.
yeah.
And I came home and I talked to my husband after being overseas and I said, baby, this is the strangest thing. I got to tell you about this. And this is what my heart says. And he supported me 100%. But I started looking after the election back in 2020. I started looking into things that were questionable to me, things that they were trying to cram down people's throats. It didn't sound quite right. And I started doing research. Now, you know, one particular popular search engine is all about making sure you get the information they want you to get.
Right.
And then out came this other search engine, which we thought was going to be pretty cool, but it turns out they're compromised too.
Right.
So I asked a bunch of my nerd friends, I said, what are your search engines? So we came up with 5 all together, and I would cross-check each story across all 5 search engines and see what I had in common. And I would do that for everything. And I would spend hours a day, hours.
Yeah.
And it was fun because I'm like Batman. I'm trying to find the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And what I learned was there were a lot of lies. A lot of lies and a lot of scary, evil people making all of this stuff happen. And I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. decided to make a change.
Yeah. What do you think about OnlyFans became really huge? It's like a lot of women are making a lot of money now doing that.
Yes.
That's not good for society, is it? It makes it so easy. There's no gatekeeper, you know? Now anybody can do it.
I think for the most part, when you was in the adult families, you were happy.
I was very happy.
Yeah. So you just had this called the Jesus moment that changed your life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hand to God. He told me to go home and never do another porno again.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so
cool.
I'm assuming these girls that do OnlyFans, they're happy. Not they're their own boss. They're not being forced to do anything.
I'm sure it's liberating for them.
Yeah.
It can be, but it's also a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I think that's the perfect word, trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gateway.
The gateway is the stripping. The gateway is the chat lines, the social media accounts that they try to grow by posting pictures of themselves in their underwear. I see it all so differently now. And it's just like I encourage the crap out of that with my work, and I want nothing to do with it now. There are a lot of people who don't know any better. A lot of women who get into the business that just don't know any better. And they don't ever develop the skills to make a living in a different way.
Right.
And they are the ones that fare the worst. Because when they try to quit, they don't know which way to go about it. And they get stuck.
They don't have any skills.
None.
You're pretty much trapped. You're going from making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to zero.
Yeah. And now you got to go do something for $10, $12, $15 an hour.
Yeah, like
With no skills and work your way up. It's once you go into it, it's so hard to get out of it. It's like being addicted to a drug. You can.
It's definitely a journey that's not easy to travel. You see a lot of people online now these days becoming affiliate salespeople. A lot of people doing the internet marketing. They're coming across with the YouTube channels, making advertising revenue. What a lot of people in the adult industry don't realize is that their business skills translate to outside of having sex for a living. There are a lot of other things that they can use some of those skills for. Okay.
You can do a Kamala. You can do a Kamala and become vice president of the United States. Open your legs up and suck some dudes off.
Ooh,
She gets a bad rap for that.
She gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Man.
She deserves every penny of it, though.
Another placeholder like the one in there now.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wow, what's going to happen to us?
What do you think is going to happen in this next election?
I think it's a red wave.
If we get there.
Yeah, a lot of people think they're going to start World War III, and in that case, we won't have an election.
I think so. The thing that went down with Verizon today.
Yeah, well, I just noticed that I didn't look into it.
Yeah.
Were you able to figure anything out?
I looked a little bit into it. I didn't want to be late because
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it's the Hodgetwins. I got to get over there. I don't want to be late. Oh my God. And I'm trying to act cool when I walk through the door.
Right.
My husband's like, baby, calm down. I'm like, oh no, but they're so awesome. And she's like, just chill. I'm like, okay.
Right.
The network went down, and it's like supposed to be a nationwide outage or something. Verizon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
People can't text or call, and they're And I'm like, wow. So AT&T doesn't suck the most for today.
Right.
At least,
That's how that Obama movie started off on Netflix.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leave the world behind.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. Leave the world behind.
Oh, that was a good story.
It was a good movie, yeah.
I didn't want to watch it because I knew the producers were.
I didn't want to watch it. I said, nah, I'll watch it.
I waited until it was like a month or 2 or 3 had gone by, and then I'm like, fine. I got nothing else. The world is going to end. I might as well see what they're talking about.
Right.
No, freaky.
Yeah.
Freaky. It's right, though, right? Did you catch all the symbols and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. So I had to have somebody tell me what they all were. And I'm like, wait, White Rabbit? What is that? And the Evergreen reference I caught because I knew that was a Secret Service code name. And then the ones, the ships that got stuck in the Panama, remember all that? I immediately said, there are people in those containers. I knew it. And you guys, I don't know how you go back through archives on tweets or something posts, but you go back to whenever that happened. I'm like, there are people. I'm willing to bet they're shipping people through the Panama Canal. Yeah, Yeah, and then they had the Evergreen reference, and then I don't really get the end of that movie. Was it like a nuclear war happening?
It's like
or?
a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah, it's like we're being attacked by another sovereign nation. That's the impression I got.
Yeah.
That we're being attacked.
They kept it vague though.
Like we are now?
Yeah, and the impression I got is that that it was chaos. There's no information. You don't know everybody. And that dude said in the car, he said, the next step is we take each other out. We do the dirty work for them. So.
A lot like, what happened when we were seeing our cities being burned down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We'll take each other out so they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. I'm just going to sit at home and read my Bible. Thanks.
If we make it to the election, which
Yeah.
I'm hoping we do,
I do.
what do you think is going to be the end result?
It shouldn't even be close.
It's not going to be.
It shouldn't be.
If, and I'm just saying if by the grace of God, and from all the things I'm seeing, they're expecting something really bad to happen.
Yeah.
Then, and I pick up on things, which is, which is a curse. Sometimes I don't think they believe that there's going to be an election, but if there is, I think he'll win all 50 states.
Yeah.
And the other side who is fighting for their breath right now because they're drowning and they finally done themselves in with all their BS. I think they're either going to commit an act of war on our people by their own hand, or have the people that they imported who are now being paid and want to keep that money coming in to commit that act of war, to keep either the votes from being counted or to keep us from rising up when they say we don't care how you voted.
Yeah.
It's just sort of something in my head. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's a bit pessimistic.
The last 4 years haven't exactly been sunshine.
I know. We shouldn't
You know?
be optimistic at all.
Right.
But the good thing is that no matter what, no matter what happens, all of this struggle and all of this suffering, it's bringing people back to their faith, no matter what name they call their faith or by what name they decide to follow that faith. People are transforming their lives now. So that's a good thing, right? It had the evil, Satan child killing people not kicked into overdrive. I would not have decided to come to Christ and I'd still be on camera making smut for a living. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I hope that shit don't come true. What you just said. But
I'm gonna go home and shoot myself.
They did a lot of those things already. They did a lot of those things. They shut us down. Said we can't work.
Yeah.
Businesses. They told private businesses they couldn't run their
And
business.
that's probably been hard were you still in the industry working when that COVID hit? What was that like?
It was a blast
Yeah.
because everybody was at home. And what do men do when they're at home with nothing to do?
Yep.
We made a ton of money in the industry. Yeah. It was disgusting. But
Dudes are disgusting.
I love men. I love men. The money that I disgracefully made, though, it helped support families who otherwise would have been out on the street, lost their jobs. So, I kept open.
Were you able to save a lot of money?
I chose to help people who were in need. But the money that I did have, I chose to create. I opened offices here in Las Vegas that were originally intended to be a studio for production. And then,
Wow.
yeah. And then hand to
Then
God,
God
was
came
like,
calling, huh?
he smacked me right upside of my head. And he was like, no. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do then? And he says, well, that's easy. Just to talk about Jesus. And I'm like, okay, but that's not going to go over too well. And he says, well, make it.
Right.
He says, it's not up to you to decide when people are going to receive the message. It's up to them to hear it.
Yeah.
He says, you just do what I tell you to do. And I was like, cool, okay. And then, life just has a funny way of taking you places. And
Right.
oh, man, it's been a fun ride. Vegas is crazy.
Yeah. I don't get out much because Vegas is crazy.
It is crazy, though.
Yeah.
I see more sex workers going to church than people who like to point their finger at them. I'm like, oh, you guys.
Yeah, some of these Christians need to take a look in the mirror.
Yeah, Yeah, they
you know?
do. They do.
They become judgmental, and they. Well, I'm not talking about all of them, but they get like this elitist mentality, like they're better than everybody else,
They do.
and they're so quick to like look down on people when they should be praying for them, talking to them, and welcoming them. You know.
But it's
But then-
it's so sad though. I can't. Which one of you is Keith and which is Kevin?
I'm Keith.
I kind of can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And it's not because you know.
Well, you should be able to tell. I'm more handsome than me.
You look literally exactly alike to me. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so freaky, you guys.
Right.
The people that they're like that. They're so mean. You know, people that accept Christ as their savior and then walk immediately back to what they were doing is because they get exposed to these Christians or these believers who want to point fingers instead of hold a hand up and lead. And then, you know, the newborn are kind of like, well, is this what I have to look forward to? I thought I was being forgiven for everything that I screwed up in life, and now you're just telling me I'm still a dirtbag. What's the point?
Yeah.
Right? Why not go back to selling intimate companionship or drugs or robbing people or doing all these horrible things? What's the point then? If you're telling me I'm still no good, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of the word that I'm sharing, is that it's okay if you don't have it figured out. It's okay if you're confused or if you're still lost or still falling,
Right.
that God loves you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need encouragement.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So they're, you know, somebody who might be on their last leg on a Saturday at 2:00 in the morning because he just went out and had like 4 girls and 4 lines stuffed up his nose, right? And he's wondering, what's the point of life? I want that guy to reach out to his Bible or to a YouTube video about Christ instead of putting a gun to his head. You know, or that lady who just got beat up by somebody who hired her for an hour, right?
Yeah.
Wondering what's the point.
Right.
And
Did anything like that ever happen to you? I'm sure you run into a lot of shitty characters where they hurt you.
I'm kind of scary.
Mhm.
I
Don't want to see your bad side, huh?
no.
You used to be a
know,
dominatrix, right?
I still am.
Oh, okay.
People don't really mess with me.
What is that? What is a dominatrix exactly?
The dominatrix thing, I'm joking now, but like being a dominatrix is all about relieving someone of the responsibility to make decisions
Oh, okay.
because they're exhausted.
Oh, I never got. Okay, it makes sense now.
Take a whip out and you beat the shit out of them with it.
And the more under control someone feels while they're being dominated, the more relieved of responsibility they feel.
Oh, like they made a child again or something. You don't have to worry about anything.
That's
Like
one way to put it, but yeah.
That was a sick way to put it, but
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Before life got hard,
Yeah.
you know, and that some of them are into the whole mommy thing, which, yeah, it rubs me wrong way. I,
what's some sick stuff the guy would be like, well, I don't know, say or do like mommy and
the stepmom thing was the beginning of the end for me.
The stepmom?
Yeah,
I like a good stepmother scene.
yeah. It made my stomach turn.
Yeah,
It turned my stomach. The stepbrother, stepsister thing, the auntie, the uncle thing, that to me was even worse than the stepmom thing.
yeah, it
Well,
is because it's blood at that
The
point.
stepmom, you're not blood. That's not your child, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But the auntie, the uncle thing, and then you've got grandpa, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, you got
what's wrong with you
grandpa in there.
people? Yeah,
Yeah.
or the father, and I'm like, what's
Well,
wrong with you people?
Yeah, that's the thing about porn. Like when I got into it, it's like you look at this one genre, and then that genre gets old, so you keep going and you keep going down the rabbit hole. Before
Yes.
you know it, I was looking at some crazy.
Man, I didn't look at some crazy stuff.
I was probably in some of it.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man, how you get so addicted to something, and then you look at your watch. You're like, wow, I've been looking at porn for 10 hours.
Really?
It's like,
Yeah.
It's like shit.
You got my respect. I can never
Well,
look at it for 10 hours.
I'm embellishing.
Okay.
It's like several hours went by, right? Not 10 hours, but you know,
my
time
God.
flies by.
hey, when I
Ooh.
look, like I like
She's making fun of me, Keith.
you about to pull it off your body.
Oh my Lord. What
like
was stuck to the bottom of your palm,
I've
dude?
never watched 10 hours of porn.
like I remember just going from genre to genre, and then it's what was I gonna say?
What John
They
Ritz are
become
you talking
boring.
about?
You get numb to it.
You get numb to it, and
Yeah.
then it's got to a point where I didn't even like the professional porn because it looked fake.
Right.
Like I look at professional porn, I'm like, that girl's totally not getting off. This is fake.
Right.
Why don't guys see that? I'm like, this is totally fake. She's dry as hell, and she's like, oh, I'm coming again. I'm like, bitch, you dry as hell.
Right. And it probably took 10 hours to shoot 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was in one production for Brazzers. Can you guys bleep that name out or something? I don't know.
I mean, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
What you call it? Call it Biggies? Yeah, you was working for Biggies, right?
Right. I was working for a particular company, and
Right.
it had it took 12 hours to shoot. 12 hours to shoot a 30-minute scene because of stunt work that had to be done. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is stunt work in adult films.
Don't
What's
work.
stunt work?
This poor man. Remember the movie Porky's?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that movie. I remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember Porky's. That's a oldie but goodie.
Yes, I did. I did a particular scene in which my co-star had to be pulled through the wall by a not so optimal appendage, and
Wow.
they had to break the wall down while doing that, and they had to rebuild the wall over and over and over again, and we were just sitting there and waiting for them to rebuild the wall again and again. So yeah, that 30 minutes took 12 hours.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see some sticking. I ain't trying
Right.
to see no wall action.
Right.
Some glory hole action, huh?
Well, he actually got pulled through the wall, and I felt so bad for that poor guy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, do you still think about the I mean, not the bad, but the fun stuff? Like the wall?
Well, you know what I think about most?
Yeah.
The people.
There was
The
good people.
The people.
different characters you run into, right?
Yeah, I mean the other the other people I worked with, not necessarily the mechanics of the work, because yeah, it was a blast too, but not all of it was. Some of it was great, some of it not. But the people were always interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You figure,
Very interesting, huh?
what type of people get into that kind of work?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
People who are interesting, right?
Right,
Right, right.
And every one of them has a story. Every single person, no matter how much you may or not get along with that individual, every one of them is fascinating in one way or another.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I kind of experienced that when we went into the military. It's like all these people from all across the country, they all had a story. They're all different.
Yeah, every
So
one
I'm
of
sure
them.
it was the same way.
And no matter what base you show up to, you all know each other, right? And you all have something in common. So you all should be getting along.
Right.
It's the same way with the adult industry and the sets. You're going to a set, you're all there to do the same thing. You're all basically in the same uniform, which is in the buck naked, what God gave you. And, when you leave, you go home alone. Sort of like you're born alone, you die alone, right?
Hey, have you ever did a scene and a guy walks in and he's like hung like a donkey, like, hell no, I'm not doing this?
Well, you probably know that before you even get there.
Yeah.
Not always.
Not always.
Oh, really?
Not
Because
always.
I when I used to watch porn, right?
Yeah.
This
Right.
dude, man, I was like, where are you going to stick all that?
They find a way to make it work.
That's got to be painful, right?
Extremely. That was my very first professional experience. Was
Yeah.
something like that. I was not experienced with something so abnormally not normal.
Right.
And I thought I was going to die. And I said, if this is what making movies is like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then the next time I shot something, it was way different experience. I was like, oh. So
Would you say no black guys?
Well, that's like
Or was he a white guy?
the first experience I had
Yeah.
was not white.
the black guy.
Yeah.
And they held on to that scene for 3 years before publishing it.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, man, I went through all this pain and you just holding on to it?
My very first professional scene, they held on to it for 3 years before allowing the public to buy it.
What was the title?
I'm not going to tell you.
Reparations.
Reparations. You're too much. What is it called? The Jack Shack. Oh my God, you guys.
Oh, man.
You guys are
I've
too
been
much.
good at porn industry. I came up with creative titles.
What?
If we
What?
win the porn, I could have came with some killer titles.
Like what?
Like me and him.
We get Reparations 1. Reparations 2.
I wonder if somebody's already done that. And
Yeah.
I wonder. It would not surprise me.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me at all.
I would totally wear a MAGA hat.
I have one. I didn't know if I could wear it on your show.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
I didn't know. Like,
Yeah, of course.
I didn't want to. I was so
Like,
nervous.
I mean, conservatives can be really judgmental, but I'm like, me and Kevin is like the old school liberal that's pro-gun and against abortion. That's who we are. Yeah.
Yeah, and freedom of speech.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
A Bill Clinton liberal.
Yeah, he was actually not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
Well, he balanced the budget, created a surplus, and I mean that to me was all I remember. That and the Monica thing, and that made him even cooler in my eyes. I was like, "All right, dude,
Still getting sucked
go
off.
get you some." I honestly didn't care, and I felt bad for the way that they destroyed her life. When
Right.
you know for a fact that the wife knew all about it.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to happen in that White House without 100 people seeing it go down,
Right.
and without somebody snitching.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. There's no way she was under the desk and nobody else knew about it. She even had the wherewithal to take and put the dress in like a wrapped bag or something so it could, the DNA could be preserved. Like, I don't even think.
That's presidential semen right there.
Right. Like,
What the hell are you doing?
say that's all that work at the Jack Shack. That's 10 hours of porn you've been watching.
Yeah, my arms have got too strong.
It's ripping shit off.
Oh my gosh. So you guys are pretty buff. You work out. What is this stuff? What's in this? It's your sponsor, you said.
Yeah, Optimal Human. It's I can't even see anymore.
It's very comparable to AG1,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
for gut health and digestion.
but
Supports,
everything's natural.
yeah, supports brain health.
Wow.
It's got all kinds of fruits and veg. It's got all the good shit in it.
I got to tell you, I really hate vegetables. And I mean, I hate vegetables. My trainer,
right.
shout out to, Mike over at LVAC because he's awesome. I lost almost 40 pounds so far. I'm like,
Oh
pumped.
wow.
He tells me to eat vegetables all the time. I'm like, no, dude, that's gross.
Yeah.
Right.
This doesn't taste like the vegetables I can't stand having in my face.
Yeah,
So this
right.
is
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Where do I buy this?
What's the website? Fuck out. Optimalhuman.com/Hodgetwins.
Hodgetwins.
Hey, we'll send you a bunch. I got a bunch in the back. I'll give it to you.
Oh, I support small business. I'll buy it like a decent American and a
No,
supportive.
you've supported me enough.
Well, that's something I've wanted to hear after the fact.
That was a joke. That was a joke. Hey, man, I don't feel so good, man.
What's wrong with you?
I'm embarrassed to tell you. I'm just going to tell you, I ain't took a shit in like 2 weeks, man.
Ain't you taking your OH? Your Optimal Human?
I thought we ran out of it.
Man, here, take this. Here's some right here. Take it. Get it up in you. Drink that. Get that probiotics. That artichoke.
That is good.
That apple powder. All those essential nutrients that get your intestines right. Yeah, get them intestines right. Get it all up in you. Swallow it. There you go. Why are you drinking it like it's Kool-Aid or something? Just
Well, you
down it.
made it with cold water. I'm over here getting brain freeze.
What's good with cold water? It's like a smoothie.
Oh, man, I feel something move. Oh, man.
Go to optimalhuman.com/Hodgetwins and now try Optimal Human for free today.
You guys are all right. I can't believe you two are 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned 50.
That's all this optimal human you're drinking.
Yeah, I guess.
Looking younger. Wow.
Yeah.
So what's going to be coming up on the horizon for you guys? Like what's new?
We used to do the touring and stuff, but man,
a lot.
that's rough.
Yeah.
You're traveling.
You probably know traveling, can't sleep in a hotel,
No.
and then it's just, and being on a flight, it just sucks the life out of you. So,
So we could start this podcast. We could start to just work from home.
yeah.
Generate
Yes.
income like that. Yeah.
That's
And I
amazing.
missed a lot of time from my family.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's rough on the family and kids. So
Well, that's I tell you what, it's going to change life a lot, but in a great way. What can I do to help? Like, is there anything that I can do to help you guys make that more awesome?
well, you being here and sharing your story was more than enough.
There are so many people like me here.
Yeah.
So many.
Do you still stay in contact with people you used to work with?
I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I sort of live a different life now. So my door's always open for them if they need to talk.
Oh,
but
okay.
I still have love for all of them. I mean, if they send me a message, I'm happy to hear from them. But
You can't really stay too close. It's like being on crack. You get off crack and your friends still smoke crack. I ain't talking to them because I'm gonna start smoking crack again.
Right.
It's like sex is very addictive.
It can be. It can be. I had to learn a lot of very, very painful lessons when I retired. That one of them was that being beautiful does not mean I'm evil. So when I put on a whole bunch of weight because I didn't want to be attractive anymore, and I swear to you, this is not made up. I thought that if I was pretty and people looked at me a certain way, it was my fault if they had lustful thoughts. So I gained a little bit of weight.
It's like you're a Muslim or something. That's what Muslim men think. Cover yourself up, because if I do something, it's your fault.
Right. Like if I'm not wearing a turtleneck at the gym and somebody gets turned on by that somehow makes me a bad person. I used to think like that because I wanted to not be seen like the person I was, when I had to learn that in order to glorify the salvation that I've accepted, I need to acknowledge who I was. Because it's a great story. It's a happy thing to be so down in the dirt, and so miserable and so lost, and suddenly to feel like life is going to be okay, even if they bring millions of people through the southern border who are killing our cats and dogs and making gourmet meals out of them. And
that's so funny. People on the left just said these stories are all made up, like other demographics of people in other.
Like it's a lie.
Like people don't eat cats and dogs in other countries. That's like,
right.
Come on, man.
Right. And, you know, like the whole pizza thing, I don't know if certain words are flagged, but like the whole pizza thing was a lie too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. How much of a lie is it now? Like, you know, I'm trying not to curse anymore. It's hard.
Yeah, I know it is hard.
It's so hard.
I've cleaned them out. I used to be very vulgar. If you look at my old videos.
I have.
Yeah. Oh, I said, oh my God, I used to curse so much.
I was cursing when I didn't even need to. It's like,
it
became...
For me, it's
I grew
about
out of it.
For me, cursing is the gateway. It wasn't the stripping that led to sex work. It's the foul language that leads me to think, and maybe other little things are okay too. So that's my gateway addiction is foul language. So if I'm saying MF, or I'm holding it back. But your producer's from the East Coast. He's East Coast.
Yeah.
I am a kindred spirit with this dude. I get what he's talking about.
Right.
And we were talking before the show because I was nervous. I was like, okay, what do they want to talk about? Do I need to read up on anything, you know, before I get here? Because I want to give you guys like this great experience, this, you know, interview for your viewers. And he's like, no, just, you know, let it be a surprise. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah. That's why we would delve into your life story, because I think it's a beautiful story. There's a lot of people that's going through the same thing you're going through, and you could help them a lot. But just sharing your story.
There's a lot. There's something I was just thinking about this week when I witnessed my daughter go in the water and come back out, which it made me cry like a baby. I cried like a baby when my daughter got baptized because she's 30. And it took me until I was 46 to understand. And she found out at 30. She understood at 30. And I thought, for everything that I've done in my life and all of the harm that I've brought into this world with my decisions, my kids turned out okay.
Yeah.
And 2 out of 3 of them are now baptized. And my son's wife is now baptized. And I've got one more. He's walking his path, but he's going to be okay too, because I'm hearing the key words. But I wanted people to understand that this is a lifetime journey.
Yeah.
Becoming a better Christian, becoming more Christ-like is a lifetime journey. So people pointing fingers kind of makes them not very nice people.
Right.
Because where are they at if they're pointing the fingers, if they're not also helping someone to find the right path? But I learned that no matter what's happening in this world, and I honestly feel like something really bad is coming. I do. I'm seeing it with the Verizon thing happening, and then, you know, they're finding new virus cases now, and weird remote places too. Like, why are these things always happening in very low activity places like the Midwest or something?
Right. Doesn't make sense.
Why
Not
is
to
that?
mention you have the war in Ukraine and Israel.
Is
horrible.
there really a war happening over there?
Well, when I look at Israel, I think that's just total genocide. The Ukraine war, that was so preventable. If we had a different leader, none of this would be going on right now.
None of it.
Yeah.
And maybe they wanted it to happen so they would have a reason to funnel that money into a bank account that would then trickle the money back to them.
Yep.
Right.
Man, when are you people going to get it?
Yeah. I know. And I see people waving at Ukraine flags. Then I see people waving at the Jewish flags. It's like, come on, man.
The Kevin McCarthy wearing a Ukraine flag on the house. Oh, I just wanted to reach through that TV and shake that man.
What kind of Republican are you?
Yeah.
He did that.
Right. Wow. What a circus. You know what? I hope when we're both old and gray, when all three of us are old and gray, I say both because you all look alike. When we're old and gray, that somebody makes a movie about this.
Yeah.
You know, where's Charles Dickens today? Who is the Charles Dickens of our day? J.K. Rowling's. J.K. Rowling's, if you're out there, I really love your work. I hope you write a saga series about everything that's happening.
Would that be great?
Harry Potter, my butt. Do want something about the United States and all the...
Right. That'd be a series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be an 8-movie series, too.
Right.
Speaking of which, Stephen King. I used
Well, that dude's a far lefty. Boy. That dude's nuts. He looks nuts. I used to read all his books.
Me too.
I was like, oh my God, you a far leftist? Like, come on.
Insane. Like,
Dude,
when did he go crazy? I used to read his books too. Like Stephen King, my favorite author of all times. And Judy Blume.
Yeah.
I got to read the Judy Blume. But like Stephen King, that man is a genius.
Yeah.
We think, who comes up with these ideas? Where does he get these story ideas? Well, now we know. Now we know. He and his friends are out in the middle of the forest in the summer with this big golden goofy statue and a bunch of fire dancing in their underwear.
You know what's so odd? Remember back in the 70s during Vietnam, and I remember liberals was like very anti-war.
Yeah.
Now today they're like pro-war, and the Republicans are very anti-war.
They're told to be pro-war. These people don't think for themselves.
Yeah. They don't. They do not. They do not think for themselves. As soon as the Democrats come out with a narrative, they run with it.
Yeah. Well, remember we way back when earlier in this conversation, these people don't feel like their life means anything. So when someone tells them that their life will mean something, if they go out for whatever cause is the latest thing, they jump on it. Right. It's the only way that they feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
For people to hate themselves so much, they don't know to wake up in the morning and know what name they're going to go by. Okay?
That's got to be difficult.
Says a lot to me.
Hey, I got a question. It's back to
Yes.
prior life.
Okay.
Was there any time there was a scene pitched to you where you was like, hell no, I'm not doing that?
Wait, say that again?
Was there any time in your afterlife, before life, whatever you would call it, where you had a scene coming up and they pitch a scene to you?
Yes.
And then you read that pitch, you're like, nope, I'm not doing
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
What was it?
In fact, I've had a few scenes that I've accepted that were supposed to be one story that after I accepted and signed the paperwork, because you got to sign paperwork before you get on camera. Everybody's got to be legal and verified and stuff. Then the story was changed.
Oh, it moved the goalpost.
Yeah, and actually that was the last time a very famous, now retired actor was in film, was because they did that to us. They changed the story to be one of these new disgusting genres that to include just certain key words. That's how it began. They would include certain words with the dialogue, maybe here and there. And then it became the whole scene was about the relatability of your co-star, the relationship, the family. And I'm like, I couldn't stand it. It made my skin crawl. I'm like, no. And I would tell them, and they were good to me. My agent was good to me. They're really good people. I would tell them, hey, I don't want to do any more of these.
Oh, like Stepson and stuff like that?
Hated it. Absolutely hated it. I hated it.
You had lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, son, you did your homework yet? Well, I tell you what, you had me sold.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't
You're
all...
a damn good actor.
Yeah. Well, you get paid to do a job, you do it well or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found some on YouTube. I was like, oh my God, this is so believable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
God help me.
Hey, Kevin. What? Shut up.
It's all good. You know, I gotta.
But it's good that you can joke about these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was nervous to come on your show because
Yeah.
you guys are like a huge big deal in broadcasting. I've been watching your show for years now, and I was afraid that your viewers were just going to be like set you on fire for having me speak to you today.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in the conservative movement, but
Yeah.
like I said, I vote conservative, but I'm
Me too.
liberal at heart. I'm just pro-life, and I'm for First Amendment and Second Amendment. I'm just an old school liberal.
Yeah.
What I mean, why? When can we all just go back to being Americans raising our families?
Yeah.
You know, this all started with labels. This all started when they wanted to
Identity
separate
politics.
us into groups. You know, the segregation thing, that they want to separate us to keep us apart, because what they didn't want us to know is that when we were all just Americans and we don't have a problem with each other,
Right.
they're scared of us. These people are terrified of people like you and me and my sweet husband who's from Texas, who's a Cowboys fan back there. Hi, honey. They're terrified of people like us talking to each other without hating and burning our cities down.
Right.
I look forward to that day when we can all just be neighbors. Just be neighbors.
Yeah.
Throwing rocks at the old man and walking on his lawn while he shoots the hose at all the kids. Water hose.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, so what are you doing now, professionally?
I am taking a couple of months. I had to get my health back in order. The stress was a bit much. My health sort of fell apart. I had gained that weight that I told you about. Now, for a woman my age, I'm 47. It was devastating to my health to gain about 35 pounds.
Oh
I gained.
yeah, we got back in the gym. I'm trying to lose a little weight because
You guys look good. What are you talking about?
yeah.
Wait till I take this shirt off. I look good in a shirt. Yeah.
You know, I got love for everybody. I do. I wouldn't say no to that. I mean, you know, if I wasn't married, I wouldn't say no to that. And I'm like,
I was banking on it.
right.
Like just putting on that weight at this age, it's so detrimental.
And what people, you know, is that it happened so fast because I stopped caring. And when it came time for me to care, everything stopped. And I had no choice but to take the weight off. And I've been working since May, late May, early June. And I lost it. And I'm about 2 pounds now, 2 pounds for my goal. So, you know, I just want to go eat some X-Lax or something. I'm joking. Don't lose weight on safely, people out there. It's bad for you. Right. But I love broadcasting. I love doing broadcasting. I love doing Bible study broadcasting. To do Bible study videos in a way that helps people who have a hard time learning, or people who have short attention spans, or people who aren't quite into Jesus or the Bible or God. I speak about the Bible and verses and lessons in a way that maybe can appeal to people to want to ask more questions.
Is your show on YouTube or? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where can people find it?
At Elizabeth Spraggins, just my name.
At Elizabeth Spraggins.
You dropped a Alura Jenson.
Yeah, you know that's kind of a funny thing. People still call me Alura.
Yeah.
They know my face. They know me as Alura because they saw me on camera as Alura.
When we run into people out in town, hey, Hodgetwins. It's just me there. So it's
right.
Those stage names, people just take that as your name. You know?
Are you serious? Your last name isn't Hodge?
Yeah,
my last name is Hodge.
But people refer to us as Hodgetwins.
Yeah, I'll be by myself. And he'd be like, hey, Hodgetwins. I'm like, just, you know.
How can people tell you apart?
I'm better looking.
I'm serious. Like, how can people tell you apart?
If you spend some time with us, you better tell us apart. Like, I don't know, Kevin's got this dipshit look about him.
Oh, my goodness.
Just like he's always happy, and I got this face like I'm going to assassinate somebody. That's what people tell me. Kevin looks happy, and I look mean.
Yeah.
Have you guys always been, you know, the complimenting personalities like that?
Yeah.
Really?
We've been each other's best friend ever since birth.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
Kevin's a fuck. I'm just joking.
You gonna bleep that out, right?
I just had to say it.
But you're both married now, right?
Yeah, we've been. I've been married since 2000.
Oh,
24 years. What year is this?
Wow.
Yeah.
2024.
I stopped keeping track because I'm getting old.
Yeah, we've been married over 20 years.
Both of you have been married 20 years?
Mm-hmm. Got 3 kids.
Oh, wow. How old are they now?
Shit, I don't know. My oldest is 23.
Wow.
And my Joshua, he's my middle kid. He's about to be 18.
Oh, boy.
And then my youngest is Jacob. He's 12, I think.
3 boys.
Yeah, 2 boys and 1 girl.
And one
my first
girl.
one, Dana. Yeah, she's the oldest.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah,
You're
I have
so lucky.
my oldest is damn. She's gonna be 30.
Really?
Yeah, because I had her when I was 20.
Wow.
And damn.
Is she married?
No, I don't. I think she's gay. I don't know if she's married or not. But,
All right. Well,
but
I mean, how's life? Life is good.
it was funny when I was first talking to her because I hadn't talked to her in some time.
Yeah.
And I kind of figured she was gay. I said, so you got a boyfriend or anything? She's like, nah, just live here by myself. I said, you got a roommate?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, girl. I said, are you gay? She's like, I said, like, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Oh, back
But
30.
I told her, you're going to burn in hell for this shit.
You said that to her?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm just joking.
Wow. So does your daughter have the same sense of humor as you? Do your kids
You know
all?
what? We've been separated for a while because
Sure.
she was with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to get her to come see me here
Yeah.
around Thanksgiving or Christmas. But she's, almost 30. Then I have my son. He's going to be 22
Oh, my gosh.
next month. And then I got Eli. Fuck, he's 14.
Steve?
And then I have my other daughter.
What?
She's 16.
Oh, that's a fun age.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
homeschool her, though.
Amen for that. Amen. Get your kids out of public school. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What a mess that's
Especially out
become.
here in Vegas.
Oh,
These schools out here, these kids out here are very bad.
ooh, wow. You know, all 3 of mine now grown adults functioning in society and not a mess. I don't know how that happened. Only by the grace of
Vegas,
God,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Public school here. And at the very last one, he's now 20. Oh, how old is Brian? I think he's 20, 25. Darn if I know, born in 99. So yeah, 25. He went to Foothills High School here in town. They tried to have him arrested for, this is the day that Turkey bombed some country. I don't remember what, but this is several years ago. And he made a joke about he wasn't afraid of them coming to the country because he knew how to make his own weapons. Boom, called the cops on him just right then and
That's
there.
crazy.
Oh my gosh, you know what a nightmare that was? I had to hire a defense attorney for my high school kid.
See, that's crazy because context matters, and he's just a kid.
Right. And it wasn't even a teacher. It was some kid who was part of the group of people talking, went home and told his mom what my son said. And the liberal white woman who didn't feel like her life mattered unless she was fighting for some cause that had nothing to do with her had to call the cops, and they came and they got my son. And I was like, are you kidding me with this?
Yeah.
Wow. And he was lucky. It was 2 days before his 18th birthday. They would have put him in adult jail had he been 18 years old.
That's crazy.
Oh, 6 months later, his ass was in boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the military. We shipped him off to boot camp. Signed him over when he was 17 because we're like, here, Judge, he's signed up.
Yeah. I want to ask you, majority of women overwhelmingly vote Democrat. Why do you think that is?
The abortion issue.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
think it has
really
some-
believe that the majority of women vote Democrat?
I mean, I look at the statistics,
Okay.
and that's
I would
what the
say
polls say.
majority of women are
I mean,
Democrats.
women is a big reason why Democrats are voting in office every election. And I think it's all because of that one issue around abortion.
I believe that the majority of women who vote Democrat don't have a strong man, in their life to make it a topic of personal discussion and not public. See, a woman in a happy relationship, no matter who your partner is, I'm just going to include everybody, but if you're happy at home, you don't need to go out and get verification from everybody else that you're living life right. You know, so the people that you're hearing about voting Democrat, they're all making sure it's okay with the other Democrats.
Yeah, that's weird.
Conservative women don't care.
Yeah, we just want to be left alone. Want the government out of my life and stay out of my pocket. Just leave us alone.
Why does nobody understand that?
Yeah.
Like, if you can't just live and let be, right? I'm going to raise my family. You go do your thing over there, and good for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise my family, believe in my Constitution, and protect my home and my loved ones. And the minute you want to bring your circus over here, it becomes my problem. See, right now, they're like throwing rocks at the windows on all of our houses saying, we haven't broken a window yet. We haven't broken a window yet. But when they do, they're going to be surprised at what pokes out of that hole that they bust through your window. I'm telling you guys, that's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole family's going to go vote.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I got everybody, son, daughter.
Dragging everybody.
And they're all
Everybody
citizens. Ain't that a hoot? All citizens.
Well, Elizabeth, this has been
Yes.
a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. But again, where can everybody find you at? What outlets do you have, like social media?
And what you got going?
Well, it's impossible for me to scrub all of my sin and from the internet. So
I have the same problem.
right,
All the things I used to say.
it's everywhere. But if you're out there and you would like to find my new work that I've been working very hard on for the last 2 years or so, it's across multiple platforms. I do a YouTube channel at Elizabeth Spraggins. I have about 6 or 9 months of. I want to talk to him like he's right here sitting next to me.
Yeah.
He's my buddy. My husband's my best friend. I have several months of Bible study videos already finished and produced. So if you're out there, just go to at Elizabeth Spraggins on YouTube. And I am still listed under at Alura Jenson on X and on Meta Instagram because they won't let me change it. They say the account's too big.
Yeah.
And that it would be like defrauding people to change it. And I'm like, okay, then.
Your Bible study, are you able to monetize that on YouTube?
I haven't yet. I don't know how.
Oh, you should do that.
I don't know how. I got into the opportunity where they offered me the education to become an affiliate salesperson. And I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. And then I got into advertising. And then I'm like, this isn't so bad. But I felt like a scumbag doing it.
Yeah.
I did. And I had spent so many years manipulating people into giving me their money. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I like talking about God and the Bible and Jesus. And I like talking to people like me. People who are living the life that I once lived. People who are out there and they're just sort of floating in water waiting to drown or be lifted out.
Yeah.
I like those people. Those people are interesting. And I wanted to provide a channel for them to be able to maybe have some of their questions answered. That was a long-winded answer. I'm sorry. Oh, he's coughing over here. He's choking on that Jack Shack.
You gonna make it or what?
You good?
I think I survived.
Thank you guys for having me here. You guys have
It's
been a
nice meeting you.
blast.
Thank you.
Maybe next time I won't be so
You have
nervous.
a wonderful sense of humor.
Let's have some drinks, then we'll get to talking.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom.